Om Sai Ram. So we are back with the next part of the same chapter, chapter 4, Family in India, from your second PUC, Sociology. Today we are going to learn about the changes in joint family. Up till now, we have studied about the definition, characteristics, advantages and disadvantages of a joint family system. In today's chapter, we are going to discuss the changes that have come about in a joint family system. We have further subdivided your part into two more parts, looking at the length of the chapter to make it easier for you to understand and retain. So we have made it now 6 parts, and today I am going to take the 4th part. But as we always do, before we go on with the chapter, let's look at the answers from the questions that we asked you the last time. So what was the question? First question was, describe any 4 advantages of a joint family system. So again, I have given you only the pointers. You have to describe them while you write your answer, and the language you can take from your book. Economic advantages, advantage of protection of the family members, recreation, development of personality, and it is socialistic in nature. These were the 4 advantages of a joint family system. Rather, we have taken all 5, you have to mention only 4. Describe any 4 disadvantages of a joint family system. Here also, we have taken all 5. So you have to choose only 4. It promotes idleness. It is hindrance to development of personality, litigation and nepotism, unfavorable for saving and investments, hinders social mobility, and low status of women. Now, third question was, given a choice, what will you prefer, a joint or a nuclear family, and why? So we leave it at your individual answers based on your choice. So what will we study today? We will study the changes in the joint family system, and the changes are divided into the structure of the joint family, changes in the structure of the joint family, and functional changes in the joint family. So what is the structure of the joint family? Structure meaning on which the entire system is based. So it is based on certain rules, certain mechanisms, all that will undergo change, certain value systems, all that are the structures of the family. Functional changes meaning the functions that the joint family were performing for the members, that also has undergone some changes. So what are those changes? So for last about 20 or 25 years, there has been a gradual disintegration in the joint family system, giving way to the nuclear family system. There have been changes in the structure of a joint family, and there have been changes in the nuclear families. So what are these changes? So basically we are discussing about the changes that came after the urbanization and industrialization of Indian society. So there were some compulsions on the families to break away from each other. For example, education was now spread more. All those things we'll be studying later in the causes of changes, but just to give you an idea, why did this joint family system undergo any change? So this is the background of those changes. Actually, that part should have been earlier, but this is how the chapter is going, so we'll follow the chapter. So let's look into the changes. So what are the changes? Structural and functional changes. So as we discuss changes in the structure of the joint family, here we have size of the joint family, it has undergone a change, ownership of property, change, and then changes in authority, change in the status of women, marital choices. Please compare and contrast what it was earlier as we describe the characteristics of a joint family system. Now you will see how the characteristics have undergone the change. Then interpersonal relations with the in-laws. Here we want to say the daughter-in-law's relationship with the parents-in-laws. And weakening of family norms and coming up of nuclear family. So this is about the structural changes in the joint family. What are the functional changes in the joint family? Change in the provision of common residence. Earlier the joint family was providing the common residence to its member, but now it has undergone a change. Religious functions, because now they are not staying together. Role of protection and socialization of children. And changes in economic functions, recreational functions, etc. So if you remember the quote that we gave you last time in the last lesson from Satya Sai Baba, and he also said the same thing about the disintegration of joint family system due to change in the value system and the aspirations of the members of the joint family. So this is exactly what we are going to see how it all happened. So let's look into the changes in the structure of the joint family. The first change was in the size of the joint family. So now the size of the joint family is decreasing. We have an example of a joint family having 206 members, and nowadays joint family consists of people belonging to 2 or 3 generations only. So depth of generation, you remember the first characteristic of joint family, depth of generation, how many generations are living together. That has decreased. So earlier there were 4 generations also with more number of members and there were big families also. Now there are smaller families also. So it does not go beyond 2 to maximum 3 generations with 8 to 10 members only. So this is the first change, size. Next is ownership of property. So this is a major change which reflects the change in the total outlook of the country. So the ownership of property of joint family has changed due to the implementation of the Hindu Inheritance and Succession Act of 1956 and other legislative and legal facilities which provide equal property rights for women. So if you remember in regarding the properties and now the changes in the ownership of property, because of these particular norms there have been changes. In patriarchal society the brothers owned the inheritance. The property of the family was owned by the sons and not the daughters. Also in matrilineal society, if you remember, there was a role of, most important role of Karanwan, who had the ultimate authority over the property. He was the senior male member and he could invest money on his name, he could mortgage property, he could give land as gift. He was not at all accountable to any member for income or expenditure. So that was the role of a male member in a matrilineal society. So you can understand the status of women even in a matrilineal society and their ownership rights. So this is one change that came about after India's independence and the constitution, coming up of constitution, that there was this law of Hindu Inheritance and Succession Act of 1956, which talked about giving the equal property rights to the women of the family also. Now, with these changes, the change in authority also took place. So how did it take place? So with the spread of education and opportunities and aspirations, young members of the family as well as the women, they were becoming more oriented towards their individual choices. You remember earlier there was the main choice of the karta or the elder members of the family used to be the final one. But now due to the education, spread of education and people's awareness towards individual rights, this is changing. People are now questioning, the family members are questioning the unilateral or single authority of one person. So the patriarchal character of joint family is losing its importance because women are also getting their hold and share in their making of the choice. Now the fourth change is in the status of the women. So obviously the status of the women has undergone a major change. In the post-independent India, women have been more respectable position. This too may be a product of education and understanding of their rights. So women now are able to make choices regarding their occupations, way of living, other choices on the day-to-day basis. So they may not be at the equal position with men still. That is what they mean by they may not be at equal position or at par with men. But it is nonetheless a positive improvement in this regard, because now women's situation and women's status is improving. Earlier they were at the receiving end. What was given to them, they could only have to take that much. Now they know about their rights also, and they can question the authority, which is unjustified. So this is a good change. Now the fifth change is in the selection of mates and conjugal relationships. You remember in the joint family system, what was the system for marriages? It was the arranged marriages, in the sense that only the elder members of the family, especially the karta, will decide or will give the final yes or no to the spouse of any young member of the family. So here we have now the individuals also, or the members who are in question to get married, they also have their choice, and their choices are now heard. So nowadays both parents and children jointly make the selection of the spouses. So there is another change, and the change is in the relationship with the in-laws. So how it was earlier? Earlier it was a superior and subordinate kind of a relationship in most of the cases. So in most of the cases, either it will be the in-laws who are at the superior end, and the daughter-in-law will be at the subordinate place, where she will be given certain jobs and she has to do that, or it may be otherwise also, depending on. But most of the cases in a joint family, the woman who has come in a joint family as a daughter-in-law would have to succumb to what the others have thought about her. So she will be doing those duties only. Now it is undergone a drastic change. Why? Because now even women are working outside, and they are more aware. So they are also looking for equal respect and share of responsibility. That the responsibility of the families should be shared between their in-laws also and the women also, because they have now, if they have taken up a job or something, they also require some helping hand. So this has changed their relations with the in-laws also. Weakening of family norms. So the family norms, that means family rules and regulations on which the family used to run, those kind of tight rules, strict rules have now become weakened. Why? Because the impact of the ideas like liberty, egalitarianism and democracy, the traditional norms and values of the joint family have changed. So liberty would focus on respect for personal freedom of individuals. Egalitarianism would refer to taking everybody as equal, not superior, inferior. Everybody has the right to equality and everybody is equal. That kind of system. And then democracy, again democracy looks for everyone's opinion to be considered while taking a particular decision. So these were the new values that were now seeping in, slowly coming in and changing the traditional norms and values of a joint family system. So traditional values were, there were set guidelines with a single person centered authority system. So now it is changing towards more equal relationships. Now increasing popularity of dependent nuclear family. So increasing popularity, or maybe we can say that there was a need to keep a nuclear family because education, economic and employment opportunities have compelled young men and women to go out of the family. So it was a kind of a compulsion where men and women, they were moving out of the family and living somewhere else outside the family. So then when they were living at the faraway places and settled in the places of their choice, But in the times of difficulties and happy situations, these families seek support from the joint family and are ready to provide necessary assistance to the basic family. So although they were living outside, but the families were in touch with each other, in the sense that if the nuclear family required any kind of help, for example during the pregnancy of the woman, somebody from the village, the mother-in-law, sister-in-law, somebody would come to help her. And back in the village, if they require some help, maybe monetary help or some kind of personal physical presence, then these members of who are now living in the nuclear family would also make adjustments and go there and help in whatever way was possible. So with that, we now come to the functional changes in the joint family. Up till now we studied the structural changes, how the traditional structure of the nuclear family, the joint family was changing, where the traditional authority was no more there, where the common residence was no more there, and where the dictatorship of values was not there, and there was an improvement in the status of the women. So these were some of the structural changes, and I've just summarized them for you. Now let's go for the functional changes. So what are these functional changes? These are the changes in the provision of common residence. So earlier joint family was providing common residence and basic requirements to its members. Nowadays the families find their residence being determined by the location of their jobs, education or choices. So there has been a change in the functions that those joint families used to provide to its members, because members are no longer staying together for whatever reason. If they have chosen to go out of the family, or if they are working outside. So their choice of residence is now determined by their jobs, education or some other choices. So when they have moved out or they are not living together, as was the case earlier, these family members still celebrate festivals, feasts, marriages, rituals, ancestral worship and other occasions together. So they may be living far off from each other, still there are some ties which are strongly connecting them to each other, and these are the ties that they celebrate festivals together. For example, the big festivals, either they will go there, or even if they can't go, now we have this system of internet connection where they can still be connected to each other and can see what is happening in each other's life and how they are worshipping. So they will still be following their traditional norms and values wherever they are. You can see this from your own examples. Wherever you are staying, even if you are staying in a hostel, if a particular festival comes, so you will be undertaking those rituals for yourself that day, and so will be your family. Now there is a change in the role of protection and socialization of children. So remember the quote from Baba the last time, that this socialization of children, which was earlier undertaken by the grandparents, is now being given to the professional agencies. Why? Because we are not living together. And why are we not living together? There can be some personal choices, there can be personal aspirations. You want to work outside, you want to pursue your education, for which you have to move out of the city and all those things. So here there have been changes in their traditional role of teaching the children the value-based education. So now who's taken it over from the grandparents? The professional agencies. So as we said, the maids and the other helpers of the family, now they have taken over from the grandparents. So this way the role of socialization has gone into other hands, and definitely it has lost its value, what it used to be earlier. The next is changes in economic function. That is the fourth change. So the younger generation leave their joint families to settle down at faraway places, seeking better prospects and employment due to factory system of production. So the earlier economic functions of joint family have been changed drastically. So the younger generation leave their joint family, as we have already discussed, because of the factory system of production. So what is this factory system of production? Wherever there is factory, production will be taking place there only. So you have to leave your places and go there. And where will these factories be? These factories will be in the faraway lands, in the cities or in the outskirts of the cities. So you have to leave your family and go there. So then the earlier economic functions of the joint family have been changed drastically. So if you remember, what were the earlier economic functions of a joint family? That some people would earn and they would provide for each other, and they used to have a system of having a common purse which will look after the upkeep of such a big number of members. Now the next point was changes in recreational functions. So what were the changes in the recreational functions? Today joint family has almost transformed its recreational activities to external commercial agencies. So earlier what it used to be, the little games that the siblings and the brothers and sisters used to play together while staying together, now it has all changed, because now the children are staying together with the parents alone. So they have moved to this television and radio, these kind of things, cinema. All these things have taken over, newspaper, magazines, taken over from the personal relationships, the little games, sports that they used to have with their joint family members. And you can all see and vouch for it looking at your own examples, how you have moved out, and how if you are living in a nuclear family, children are so much geared towards watching television all the time. Why? Because they don't have that kind of interpersonal or relationship, personal relations with each other, where they could talk to each other or play with each other or discuss things with each other, as was the case earlier with the joint family. So with that, we have come to an end of the changes that the joint family has undergone, and these are two simple questions for you. Describe any 4 structural changes in the joint family system, and describe any 4 functional changes in the joint family system. So what you have to do, you have to just go through all those 5 changes and select any 4 and describe them with both the questions. So with this, we end this part of the chapter. We'll see you soon with the next part of the chapter. Thank you. Om Sai Ram.